What's up, Lorehounds? Inside the Robot Entertainment booth, I'm here with Chris Rippy, the producer for Orcs Must Die 2. You guys just announced it, so we're getting, like, everything's coming back from the first game?
Yeah, everything from the first game that you loved, but now you can do it with a buddy, with all kinds of new stuff.
So, let's start with the simple things, I guess we can say. The single player, there's a whole campaign, story mode, and all that. So how does that work now that the Sorceress is actually on our team for co-op?
Yeah, well, so we'll start talking about the story real soon, but you'll be able to play either character through the single player campaign. So you can go through it as her or as him, and you'll start learning more and more and uncovering more and more about why you're on the good side of the world now, how you got there, and what you need to do to stop the orcs.
So the co-op, you play as either one, and you can't be mirrors. You have to play as both, right?
No, you can be mirrors. So you can have.
So you can be
four mages.
Oh, yeah. Okay, interesting. And do they have? So the game is obviously a huge, TD. You're kind of in the world. You set all your traps. Do they have separate traps that are unique to the characters?
Yeah. Well, they have their own characteristics. Kind of across the board. They behave differently. For example, she's got a giant mana pool, but she's really weak, so she has to stand back and fight from a distance to kill things, or she'll fall down quickly. But they also have their own sets of traps, or a set of their own set of traps and spells and all that stuff.
So she's very different gameplay-wise, but she can actually use the same traps that he does? A
set of them. Like there's a giant pool that they can each choose from, but then there's specific stuff for her and specific stuff for him.
So how does the co-op work? Can you LAN, or is it strictly, through a Steam system?
Right now, it's strictly through a Steam system. We felt like we wanted to take advantage of all the great stuff Steam has to offer. That's the best way for us to get the game out there and do it that way.
It was probably the biggest request from our community was to try and play co-op.
Yeah.
They saw it as like the only thing to knock on Orcs Must Die, and now we have it. So, what kind of gameplay is being added for the co-op that's beyond the single-player campaign?
Well, so yeah, I mean, you've got all the new weapons and traps. You've got an entire set of new enemy characters that you'll be able to see in the footage that we're showing. So there's really the whole game expands from that standpoint. But also we've upgraded the spellbook system. So now you're earning skulls in new ways, and you're earning more skulls, and you can take those and spin them in the spellbook to choose which weapons you want when you want them, and then to kind of go deep on an upgrade path with them too.
So the campaign system, is it the same as the co-op? Are we doing the same levels?
Yeah, you play the same whether it's single player or in co-op. And kind of the cool thing that we're doing is the way you share combos and kill streaks too. So that you're really having to work together to get these gigantic combos that we've got in the game, and also kill streaks to get money, and you're sharing the money and going through that way, which is really fun.
So what about our money? Do we get individual pools of money, or is it a single entity that we share from?
Both earn money, and it gets split between you, but you have your own money to pool to spend. So like I can't hork all your money on my own traps. I've got my own money for that.
So the Sorceress handles a lot of the mana-heavy things. Does that mean the Spellweavers that we used to choose, the specific things where we can, segment our War Mage in a certain way, is that gone?
Yeah, actually it is. So in the previous game, if you haven't played it, the Weavers kind of provided an in-level upgrade path. But what we've done, since we've got a new upgrade system in the game with a spellbook, and it's a lot deeper, is pushed everything into the spellbook. That gives you a lot more depth. It gives you a lot more customization. So that's kind of where we put it.
And I also noticed through the early footage that we've seen here already, you guys have a lot of different environmental effects. The one level we actually saw had minecarts going through, and we could use that offensively, where we could have everyone get stuck on the tracks and then get them run down. Is there a lot of that throughout all the new levels?
Yeah, all the levels will have something in there to mess with, like the first game. So the mines focus heavily on the minecarts, and some of the levels we haven't shown yet will focus on new things.
So we have themes now, where you just said, the mines.
Yeah. Well, we have the mines. We've got some castles that we're going to revisit. So,
do we have any idea how many levels there are yet?
No, not that we're talking about quite yet, but it'll be a good, thorough campaign.
Is it comparable to what we had in the first one?
In a way, it is. We've also got some other different game modes that we're talking about. So.
And what about the amount, the different types of enemies?
The enemy list, you've got everyone from the first game, and then it's grown quite a bit. Like, for example, here at the show, we're showing the Earth Elemental, which is this awesome big creature that when you shoot it, it breaks into 2 more creatures. Shoot it again, it breaks into 2 more creatures. So we've got a lot of new stuff in the game like that.
We can expect like all the old guys and then a slew of new ones as well.
That's one of the really cool things about the game is we are carrying forward everything, you know, all the stuff from the first game as far as traps and spells and enemies and bringing them into the new game.
Literally just building on top of the awesomeness of Orcs Must Die.
Exactly.
Fantastic. One of the big things for Orcs Must Die was the 5 skull system. So at the end of the level, you would get rated based on, you know, your long combo streaks, not dying, which I never died ever, and stuff like that. So is that system now changing because of the co-op play? Because it's more persistent?
Well, it's extended. So you've got the 5 skull system that you know and love, but there's also new ways to kind of what we call grindable skulls, which are skulls that you can repeat. So you can go in and say, beat a level, that's going to give you a skull. Every time you beat a level, you're going to get a new skull. Kill 100 orcs on a level, you're going to get a skull. So they're always able to add more skulls and then go spin them in the spellbook.
So there's effectively achievements that you do while in the level to get more skulls?
Well, kind of. It's almost like an XP system. You know, kind of at its most basic level. You're getting more and more, and then you can go and spend it.
So if Orcs Must Die 2, do we have any kind of release idea?
Yeah, summer. It's going to be here this summer. It's right around the corner already.
And the price point's going to be around the same as the first game?
Yeah, the original game was $15, so I'd expect it right around there.
Great, we can't wait. And is there going to be any kind of beta or no?
I'm not sure. I know we'll have a demo.
Okay. Well, thanks so much. It looks great.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks.